Hello everyone, my name is Drake and I'm going to be giving you a tutorial on how to make a 3D object within Alice appear as if it is walking. So, in order to do that, you need Alice, and if you don't have Alice, all you have to do is go to your internet browser and go to alice.org. Bam. Come over to downloads, and the Alice I'm using is Alice 2. It's the older version of Alice. It's the same version of Alice I used a couple terms back in a Fundamentals of Programming class that I had. Um, but yeah, you come over to downloads, get Alice 2, and there is multiple options for whatever OS you're running. So, you know, choose whichever suits you and run Alice. After you download Alice, you should get a box like this that says run, and you'll click on it, and this is what it should pop up with. The first box here that pops up is gonna pop up every single time, and it's basically just gives you a template to start out your world. So for this, we don't need anything fancy. We'll just use grass. Why not? So, okay, now that we got the beginnings, the start of our world setup, what we need now is a person. We need a person to add to our world. So we click add objects there that I just clicked, and in this gallery here there is a tab for people. It's somewhere in here. There it is. People. Okay, and some of these objects, some of these people like Alice and the ballerina. Some of these objects have pre-built-in methods which make them do things like I think the ballerina and the ice skater have a spinning method pre-built in them that just makes them twirl and spin. But we're not going to do that. We're going to start from scratch. So I'm just going to pick Random Girl 2 just because I like her black pants. And we want our object to face the direction we want it to travel, just to make it easy. So let's turn her and make her face this way. Yeah, this also helps see how the legs move and what's going on. Okay, so we got our girl set up. Let's just hit done. We're done adding objects. So now comes the tedious, tricky part. We need our object, the random girl. We need her to move across the grass as well as move her legs so it appears as if she's actually walking across the grass and not just hovering over. Let me show you what I mean. If we just add this method, this simple method right here, random girl, we'll say move forward 5 meters. Let's run it and see what happens. Okay. See what happened there? She just like hovers forward like she's possessed or something. That's not what we want. So what we want is her to move as well as her legs to move back and forth, forward and backward, to make it look like she's walking. So I'm going to use a little bit of skills I learned from my previous term at Kaplan and make this random girl walk. So the first thing we need to do is we need to let's create a method to make her legs move forward and backward. So we'll just create a new method and we'll name it, let's name it leg leg forward. Okay. And we are going to create a parameter. And what a parameter is basically a placeholder for information that that I can call later, so I don't have to do all kinds of crazy stuff in here. And I'll show you that also. But first, let's create this parameter for this leg forward, and the parameter will be leg. We'll call it leg. Because how we're going to set this up is we're going to create the methods for the legs to move forward and backward, and we're going to call it in a different method so we can have the legs move forward and backward while also having the random girl move forward. And that might sound a little confusing, but once you see it happen, it'll make a lot more sense later on. But first, I need to create this leg parameter, this object. And we'll do that right there. Okay. So we got that all situated. Now what we got to do is let's have random girl, lower body. Let's say we'll have her, how do we do this? Oh yes, that's right. Leg turn backward, and let's say we want it, we'll say 0.05 rotations. Okay. And yeah, that's it for that one. Let's create another new method and we'll call it leg backward. Oops, backward. Oops, backward. Backward. Leg backward. Alright. And then we got to create that same leg parameter using the object type. And we'll do pretty much the same thing, except this time we're going to have the leg turn forward 0.5 revolutions. Okay. That seemed pretty easy, right? Yeah, well, we're not done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get random girl to move her legs forward and backward multiple times. So how we're going to do that is we're going to create another new method, and we'll name this one, let's name this one random walking. Okay. Okay, so we know we want the right leg to move forward at the same time as the left leg moving backward to make it look like she's taking steps. So how we can do that is we can just, first of all, we need to do a do together statement. with the leg forward, and we'll say random girl's right leg, the entire right leg. And we'll have her entire left leg moving backward. Okay. But now the right leg needs to come back into place and the left leg needs to go forward into place. So we need to do kind of the opposite. So let's do leg backward, random girl, lower body, right leg, entire right leg. And then left the leg forward, left leg, entire left leg. Okay. Alright, so all this is doing so far is putting the right leg forward, left leg backward. And then now this method right here, putting the right leg back where it started and the left leg back where it started, just basically made the girl reset. So if we ran this method right now, all it would show is the random girl standing in place, her right leg coming forward, left leg coming back, and then both of them coming back into place. So we can test it right now to see if it works, and I think we will do that. So let's come to the world, my first method, and let's call the random walking method, and let's see what happens. Yes, see? That's the beginnings of exactly what we wanted. So now that we got half of it done, all we have to do is fill out the other half, which is kind of the same thing, just switching up the legs. So I'm going to do this kind of fast here just to save some time. Let's see, we're going to do leg forward, random girl, lower body, and we'll do the left leg forward this time. And then we have to do the right leg backward, the entire right leg. And then after that, we have to reset it. Random girl. Lower body, left leg, entire left leg. And let's see. Lower body, right leg, entire right leg. Okay, now that this method is updated, let's see what happens when we call it again. Oh, see? Already the makings of someone walking. Now, like, it's not going to look super realistic, guys. Keep that in mind because that's just the way Alice is set up. Like I said, it's set up to teach people the fundamentals and, beginnings of working with 3D animated objects. So, it's not meant to look super crystal clear and super detailed and really fluid in the motions. It's all just, this is all just to, help us learn a thing or two. So keep that in mind when judging yourself based on how it looks. So now that we got the leg movements down, we still need to get our random girl to move across the scene. So since all the leg motions are set up, all we have to do is get her to do these leg motions together with moving across the scene. How we do that is by using another do together statement with this method that we just created right here. So since that's there already, all we have to do is add a do together statement. We'll say random girl walking, and then we'll say random girl move. We'll say move forward about 5 meters. See what happens. Whoa, that was really fast. So we know we want her to move 5 meters, but she needs to slow down because that was just ridiculously fast. So let's say 3 seconds. Let's see what happens with 3 seconds. Still no good. See, that's the thing with Alice. You got to play around and see what works because she's crazy. She's crazy. We're gonna try 5 seconds this time. Okay. Maybe 3 meters. Let's see, 3 meters in 5 seconds. A little better. A little better. Almost there. Hmm. Let's say I want to say 1.5. Save now. Remind me later. I don't need to save right now. We'll say 1.5 seconds. Let's see how that changes things. Or 1.5 meters, my bad. Yeah. She still glides a little bit when she's taking her steps, so. Huh. So, yeah, from here on out, it's all timing. Getting her distance and timing down so it looks more realistic. Um, like I said, you just have to play around with it and find something that looks good. Like that's almost there. It's almost there. 2 seconds. Nope. 3 seconds. And we'll move forward 1 meter. Okay. 2 seconds. 1 meter. Three seconds. Hmm. Let's try 3.75. See how that changes things. It's almost perfect. That's pretty good. That was a pretty good one. That looked pretty good. Let's see. still not perfect, but for someone just beginning and learning out, or just learning and beginning, excuse me, this will give a foundation and a basis on how things work with Alice. So didn't do too bad. Let's watch it again. Yeah, see, that's just basic, simple steps with a random girl object within Alice. So, there's many other things you can do in Alice. If you want to work and play around with stuff, you can just add, like I said before about the objects, certain objects having built-in methods and functions. We can take a look at Alice here. Let's add Alice. And if we look, you see Alice has 3 methods added already. And, excuse me, 2 of these methods help give Alice the walking look that we just tried to achieve with this object here. So let me show you what Alice's methods look like compared to what ours look like. This is the method for Alice's legs to turn and rotate to give her the appearance as if she's walking. Now her code is slightly more complicated than what we did. And the difference between the outcome of how we did things versus how it's set up here within Alice, I will definitely show you the difference in a second. So this is Alice's walking method. This is what makes Alice move forward, and also what ties together the leg movement methods here with the forward movement method here. So I'm just gonna to give you guys a preview of certain things within Alice before I end this tutorial. I'm going to show you the pre-built-in walking method for Alice. So let's just drag this over here. Walk, how far? Well, Alice, how about you walk 3.75 meters for me? How about that? We'll just disable this so they don't collide. Let's see what happens. Whoa, see? She moves fast too. But you see, notice her feet move way more fluidly than this random girl here. And the reason for that is the coding that went into each specific part of her leg. If you notice, there's her left leg right here has a revolution. The lower leg has a revolution, as well as the right leg within the do together block. And Alice moves up a little bit as well within each block, which gives her the appearance like she's actually walking. But this is a little more on the advanced side. So, people just beginning and people just starting out, don't stress too much over getting things done perfectly, because, it takes time and practice to get things done, right, I guess. Not right, but to get them done perfectly, So, yeah, there's my tutorial on how to make objects walk within Alice. I hope everybody enjoyed. If you can save your work if you want. I'm not going to save this. I'm probably not going to use it again. So, um, yeah, that's my tutorial. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Thank you.